everyone, welcome to Burn Pilates. My name is Lydia and today we're going to be going through a full body mat flow using principles from Pilates, bar, light, which stands for low impact training exercise. We are using a yoga block along with a set of light handheld dumbbells as props today. My dumbbells are 3 pounds and my yoga block is made out of cork. The only reason why that is important is because we're using the block to up the level, literally the level from where you're standing. Something you can use to modify if your block is made of foam and you're worried it might tip is either a step, a workout step. You could also use the first step literally of your stairs. You also don't have to use a step. I'm going to illustrate this really quickly. If I'm standing on the yoga block and I'm doing any kind of arabesque, that movement taken to the floor is the exact same. Nothing will change. I want to encourage you, as I always do, for those of you who have subscribed to Burn Pilates for a while, to pay attention to what your body is telling you today and what your energy is giving you. We always want to make choices based on the day that we're working out. So regardless of what equipment I may or may not be using, customize your class. Make the choices that serve you best. Without further ado, set your mat up, keep some water close by, and let's get right into our class together. Welcome. Just starting with your equipment on the side, we're going to begin by opening up the body, specifically stretching out the hips, engaging the posterior chain, activating the core, finding your posture, your balance, and your breath today. Make your way to the top of your mat, starting with your feet parallel, hip bone width and distance, shoulders rolling down and back. Take your hips and find a light Pilates sit back where your hamstrings are right away open and where you can engage your glutes by pressing your heels into the floor, almost like you're trying to split the ground, spreading out your toes. Shoulders staying back and down, taking your arms, reaching them out forward, take a full breath in, and on your exhale, stepping your right foot back, find your ground, stretch your calf, reach your arms into an extension where you're pressing your heel down. You're using your ground, you're using the stretch of your arms to find opposition, stepping all the way back in and through. Deep breath in and exhale. Try to ground your right heel as much as you can in your mat. And at the same time, feel where your left heel is pressing forward to give you the resistance and opposition. We're gonna go for 3 more here. Exhale, press. Check out with your spine that you are in a neutral and that you're not arching. You're not doing this. You're reaching in opposition. Hands go forward, foot goes back. Always try to find the oppositions in your body. That's part of the mental acumen that you want to develop in your class. Go for a last one here. Deep breath in and exhale. Stretching out, switching sides. Take a full breath in and exhale. Left foot back, find the ground, press away. Your right knee, as it stays bent, should always be over top of the back of the heel. It should never be doing this. You want to keep the opposition. So if your right foot is pushing forward, your left foot is pushing back, your arms are stretching forward, your hips are stretching back. The long leg is extending out, but you're flexing through the glute so that you get that hip extension. When one muscle flexes, another extends. Find that connection. Deep breath in and exhale. Should feel this right to your stomach wall. Feel your muscles wrap in around your center. Coming all the way back up from here, shoulders down. Step your right foot back, find the ground, toes flexing, heel is lifted. You're flexing through that right butt, stretching your leg back. And from here, hands can be on the hips, on the ribs, or on the shoulders or behind the head, wherever you can feel your body right here in your vertical. Inhale. On your exhale, take your torso onto the diagonal that's already been set up with your right leg. Use the floor, use the ground. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips forward, take your hips back. Soft, subtle movement, waking up your body, waking up your connections. Feel your left hip pull back as your right hip pushes forward. That's part of the glute connection we want from our long leg. Last set of 2. And deep breath in. taking your body all the way forward. Reach your arms out, palms to floor. From here, you're going to take your arms, bend them in towards your waist, in towards your ribs, and then stretch back out. Try to feel like you're reaching your arms further and further away from your right leg. Left knee is bent over top of the back of your heel. Right toes are flexing into your floor, and you are contracting that right booty as hard as you can so that you are fully engaged in the stretch of your right hip. Last set of 2. Go for 1 more. Deep breath in. And exhale, stretch, reaching on out. Come all the way back up. Roll your shoulders out. Give yourself a chance just to let go of that. Setting up second side. Left toes in the floor. Find again that squared off position through your shoulders, your collarbones. You want to find where your upper body is lengthened from your left leg, and then pressing through the ground, extend your spine in length. Don't let your back arch, but rather contract your left glute, pull your right hip back. Feel how you're using your floor to set your body up for success in vertical, and then reach back over, torso long. A lot of these movements that I'm doing right here, when I practice them on the reformer, the idea is to hold the carriage still and stable. So whatever works for you in finding these connections, work for the stability from where you're using your ground. Your right heel is pushing forward. Maybe even lift your toes up off the mat to find that connection. Your left leg is stretched out because of how tight you are through your left glute. You're pulling your kneecap along, flexing so you can get that hip extension forward. Reach forward, send your arms all the way out. Inhale, we bend. Upper back engaging. Stomach wall is stretched out. Try to grow your body longer and longer and feel that connection in your floor for a last set here of 3. For 2. Last 1, take a full breath in. And exhale, stretch and reach. Step on up, and from here, walk to the center of your mat. Take a stretch, chin to sternum, roll down, knee soft. One is that your knees are soft, that you're not locking out. We always want to stretch our muscles, not the joints. So it's important that you have your body anatomically aligned. Sit bones. Stretch your joints. You want to stretch your muscles. So never lock out. And never let your body collapse into the stretch. You want to feel activated. You want to feel opposition. Your sit bones lift up, your knees stay just bent enough that your weight can stay forward. From here, onto all fours, making sure that your knees have the support that you need. Chest and arms are wide. Going through the exact same sequence we just started with our right leg. You're going to take it all the way out. Breathe in and exhale, lift on up. Find that lift where your hips are in parallel. You're stretching out, squeezing your glute. Touch the floor. Inhale, exhale. I say we're starting in the same exercise because all of these movements are about opening up your hips. So even though we're taking the leg up and down, it's a little bit of a different move. It's the same principles and foundation. Now notice my leg is not going higher than my glute. You want to feel that your body is stretching out in opposition. The goal is not to go high with the leg, it's to work your abs and get your glute totally engaged in stretching your leg 100% all the way out. Let's go up and down for a last set of 4, 3, 2, last one right away. Bring your knee down, inhale, exhale, left leg stretches, and we lift up and down. Practice elongation. There's so many times I see people never stretch their joints, and I know that we have all become very fearful of quote unquote locking out, but you are not in any worry here. You're not standing up. You don't have whatever number you weigh over top of your joints. This is just the left leg lifting and lowering. You want to fully extend, train your muscles, lengthen them out. That's something I learned in my dance career and when I was a dancer training, and it's something that is very specific in dance that we do not always see in working out. And I want to get you to the point that you're fully finding the same lines and connections anatomically that would stretch your joints into full completion of elongation because of your muscle connectivity. Feel this work from your glutes and abs. There should maybe be a little bit of a shake. The most that you can contract is the most you want to be contracted here. Exhale for 4, last 3, last 2, Last one. Taking your left leg all the way down to the floor. Find the ground with your toes. Walk your hands all the way in and come all the way up to standing. You're going to keep your feet in that hip bone width distance. Hip bones are hips in the front, not hips in the side. Check that you have that positioning. From here, give yourself a soft, again, Pilates tilt back to the hips. A nice little sit back. Now, I want to illustrate this on camera. I'm taking my time today because the why of what we're doing, where you should be feeling it, and where you're working are super important. Because in life, we sit so much, and when we sit down, we're crunched in our hips. This whole crease gets short and tight. My goal is to elongate you and help you find the connection between your ribs and hips so that you're not, I'm just gonna hold my hands up here so you can see, so that you're not here, so that you're not here, and so that you're not here. There's going to be the positioning of your hips always that you want to think of. So with this little sit back, make sure that your weight is solid and feel right away where you're trying to split the mat open through your thighs. You're trying to keep the tension, you're rooting down, and you're using every part of your mat and ground to help you. Now from here, hands can go wherever you wish. Ribs connect in. Notice where your hips are, where your shoulders should be. You shouldn't be here. You're not overarching. Your hips are back, so we're creating that relationship. Take a moment, inhale, and on your exhale, transfer your weight forward through your right foot, push your left heel into the mat. Resist the urge and temptation to bend too deeply. You want to keep that heel in the floor. Breathe in to hold the stretch. Now notice, if your right hip is creasing, you've gone too deep. You want to pull your hip back, work for that length, pull your abs up so there's no collapsing. Nothing should be collapsed. I know I'm taking my time with you and you're going, okay, let's get into it, Lydia. But the truth is you got to work the technique and form. It took me a long time to get my body trained to be totally stable. And even today I feel the work. I'm already sweating a ton because of the force in which I'm using the floor. I'm applying pressure in different directions. I am flexing my left glute as my right leg goes forward to help elongate the kneecap, to help feel the pressure that I'm creating by pushing into the ground. If you're unsure, touch your butt, touch your abs, touch the part of your body that you want to work, and then make sure that you are physically giving yourself the chance to feel the work. Don't just wait for the move to hit you. It doesn't work like that. You got to work the move into your body. Last one. This is excellent for training stability and weight transfer, and also helping you ground. Deep breath in, opposite side. Left foot goes forward. I push my right heel back. Feel the extension, feel that work into the calf. Flex that right butt. Don't leave it loosey-goosey. Come back. Little sit so that you have your hamstrings open. And this is all functional training. Stepping forward, pushing back. These are not exercises that are complicated, but they are felt and they are connected into you finding the ability to stop, press, pull, and push. All of the forces working in one. Deep breath in. Go for a last one here. Deep breath in and exhale. You're gonna come all the way up to standing. Take a full step forward with your left foot. Right leg is back, toes are in the ground. Take your hands, bring them up either behind your head, in the front of your body, in prayer, or on your hips. Little bend into the left leg, push your tailbone out. I don't want you to just lean forward. I want you to physically feel your butt open so the dog could say hello. Little bend into that left leg. Your right leg hovers. Listen to that cue carefully. It's not a lift, it's a hover over top of the floor. Woo, working balance already. Take a full breath in, flex and stretch your toes. Get the foot to work the full stretch and elongation of your right leg. This is such great work for your erector spinae muscles. The spine needs to stay strong and we want to work our lower back, which is one of the reasons why you don't see me here, because I don't want you to crunch. I want you to train, again, the relationship between your ribs and hips, which comes from the abs, which comes from the obliques. Exhale for a last set of 2. Last one. You're gonna take your right foot right away, bring it down behind you, keeping your upper body in vertical. Give yourself a soft, light bend through the right leg. Stick your tailbone out slightly so that you have a neutral pelvis, and pick your left leg up off the floor. Hold it, float it. Point, flex. Point, flex. You're not rounding. You're stretching your spine up in opposition. Exhale, inhale for 4, 3. This is all non-impact exercise, but it is training you very deeply. Find the connections here. You're gonna, from here, step your left foot underneath your hip. Right foot moves forward. Find the extension first. Then, once you're here, you're going to press your tailbone back, little bend into your right leg, hover your left leg off the floor, stretch your knee, flex, point, flex, point. Ribs knitted in. Don't let them start to flare out. Neck is long. Abs are working to hold the transverse in. You're thinking of your hip bones from left to right with a seatbelt of abdominal wall, keeping that connection in. Obliques are keeping your ribs support with your hips. Go for a last set of 3. Exhale, stretch your left leg by flexing your glute. Make sure the butt is on. We always want to work muscles in the core, which include the butt. Taking your left foot back, step into it. From here, soft, light little bend. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. You have your natural lumbar arch. Lift your right leg up to hover. Flex and point. If you lift it up and this happened, you went too high with your leg. I want you to find a neutral position. Point and flex. Dropping the weight of your tailbone. Keep feeling that your spine is stretching up to the ceiling. Work that opposition. Last 5, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Taking your right foot, bring it all the way underneath your hips. Nod your chin to sternum and roll down. Try to feel where your lumbar is pulling up as you roll down. Round, round, round. Give yourself a moment here to stretch. Don't hyperextend your legs. And slowly, smoothly making your way down to the ground, kneeling from here. You're gonna grab your weights. I want you to bring your weights onto side of your mat, right and left, so that they're even. From here, you're gonna keep your arms open in a nice collarbone width and space. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. Before we add on to the weights, take a full breath in. Going into opposite arm, opposite leg, like a bird to dog. Stretching your right arm, flex your left foot, stretch on out, reach in opposition, come all the way back down and switch sides. Breathing in, making sure that that weight transfer is still as can be when you come down through center. You don't wanna have your body sway from one side to the other. Now reach forward, try to get that shoulder all the way up to the ear. And then when you come back down, the shoulder is dropping away from the ear because of how you're connecting to your upper back. Don't leave any part of your body out of this exercise. If there's a bend in your arm, if your arm's not next to your ear, if your leg is stretching, isn't fully flexing to the foot, then you need to activate a bit more. Deep breath into lower and exhale. Let's go for a last one each side. Breathe into lower. Exhale to stretch. Lowering down with control. Press and flex. Reach, reach, reach. Come all the way down. Grabbing right away one of your dumbbells to place in the back of your right leg. Your heel comes close towards your glutes. You're going to take your forearms down. And from here, I want you to sit your hips back. Use the mat to push your forearms forward so that you can extend and lengthen out from shoulders to wrists, from also ribs to hips. You're going to lift your right leg up off of the mat, keeping it in parallel. Touch your left calf on that lower. Exhale, lift your right leg up. You can have your toes stretched or flexed. That dorsal or plantar flexion is a choice so that you don't cramp in your foot. Making sure that when you lower, you fully touch your left calf, ankle, wherever your right knee feels the presence of your leg. That's where you go to. Now notice here, as my right leg is lifting, I talk about this a lot on my channel. We're stretching out this part of the body from the front of your right knee up to your hip. This movement, when you go up, it stretches this whole area, the whole area that gets tight from sitting for too long. So when you lift, physically clench and flex your glute. Don't try to arch your back, but rather feel the length that you're cultivating from your ribs to your knee. You're trying to create one long line. Exhale. When people swing their leg up too high, the abs have not worked because your abs should act as a brake with your glute to help you find that perfect alignment. Deep breath in and exhale, lift. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. Holding your right leg all the way up, flex your foot, get that heel close to your glute, lower halfway down, over top of the floor. Deep breath in and exhale. Use your ground, send your tailbone back. Shoulders away from ears. Last 4. Last 3. For 2. Go for a last one. Deep breath in and exhale. Take your knee all the way down to the floor. Bring that weight all the way out. Place it down to your mat. You're going to make your way all the way back up. And from here, flex your toes, walk your hands to your feet. Roll on up, come up to the front of your mat, grabbing your yoga block. Again, if you're not using your block, you're gonna be following along with the same exercises. Don't make it complicated for yourself today. We wanna work balance, we wanna work support, we wanna work in challenge, but I want you to find the movement qualities. Grabbing your weights, using them as an option to add on a little bit of extra for your upper body. Now the left foot's gonna be standing on the block. You wanna have the block fully supporting your foot, especially to your heel. Take a moment to come up. Roll your shoulders down and back. Take your weights up into your shoulders so that you have right away the connection in, and then open up into an external rotation. Knuckles face back, fingers face forward. You're in a nice little W or double V position, however you want to refer to it. As you hold this position, make sure that you have the floor with your right toes. Bend your left knee, stick your tailbone out. Now think of that float that you just did. You're gonna take your right leg up. You're gonna float it off the floor. Make sure that your kneecap is fully lengthened. Abs are turning on. Your obliques are what is helping keep your ribs in alignment through your hips. From here, take your arms, lower them down so that you have them right in the alignment that if you looked at your forearms, it looks like you're in a forearm plank. The only difference is your palms are facing up. Take a stretch, down, and curl back up, 90. Stretch. Right leg is long, left knee has a soft bend. Reach and bend. Last one, just feeling the weight, hold. Now, as you bring your arms up, you're gonna hold your elbows and align with your shoulders, and then you're gonna pull your weights back down into this forearm position, wrist still facing in the same direction up to the ceiling, knuckles to floor. Exhale to lift. Deep breath in to lower. Control the movement. You're stretching out from your elbows to ribs, working through your lats. The more you can grip your weights, the better it is. That left hamstring and glute will be working in the support of this exercise, but you want your right leg with your right butt to fully be on. Fully contract them. Exhale, let's go for a last one. Hold your arms up. Keep your arms lifted. Turn your palms in though, and bring your weights a little closer. Lower it down through the right leg. Lift it up. No higher than where you started. Try to float. Exhale, lower down, lift. Wrists strong, don't let them break. Last 3, 2, finish with 1 more. From here, you're gonna find your floor. You're gonna take your left foot off of your block, pull your elbows all the way in, send your tailbone back, light Pilates sit back, tricep extension. Reach, bend, reach, bend. Stretch through your spine. Feel your abs pull up and in. Work to keep your tailbone long in space. Neutral pelvis always. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Take your arms all the way in, and from here, stretch your upper body, lift it. You're gonna make your way down to the floor. Take your weights onto side to side, move your block out of the way. And from here, hands stretching right away into your mat, making sure that you have the positioning here. You want your elbows soft. Flex your toes. Looking down to your ground, take a full breath in. And on your next exhale, float your hips up. Hold this floating tabletop. You're gonna keep this tabletop lifted, and we're gonna do a reverse mountain climber, which means starting in this floating tabletop, the movement is going to be right leg stretching out. Make sure that your upper body doesn't push you away. You're stretching your torso, if anything, more forward, and then retracting your right leg in, switching sides. Exhale. Inhale, feel that length. Push the crown of your head forward. Open up those 5 toes. Press them down into the mat. Flex your glute as you stretch your leg. Right butt flexes, stretches, pushes down. The more you press into your floor, especially through your toes, the more you're Gonna suction cup those abs up and in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Last one each side. Last one. Full press back. Come all the way in. Lower your knees down right away. Grab your weight for your left side. Pull the weight into your knee. Take your forearms down. You want to have your knees separate again, hip bone width and distance. Press your tailbone back. Use the forearms to help you. Shoulders away from ears. You're going to lift the left leg all the way up off of the floor, heel to glute. Make sure you don't hyperextend. You want to feel that you're stretching out through the front of your left hip. Lower down, touch your right calf, lift on up. It's not a high lift. And if anything, it should be super controlled. You're using the weight to functionally add not only the feeling of resistance that you have from the weight, but that goal of keeping the resistance object tight. Your heel is staying close to your glute, which is going to help you find the correct form without hyperextending your back. It's humbling not to go into full extension. I can feel this in my body. It's like my brain wants to lift higher, but my body can't, at least not in good form. So focus and humble yourself to what you're finding here in your body today. The more you use your ground, the more you press your forearms into the mat, the more you send your tailbone back, the more you press your right shin down into the mat, the more you will work from your abs. Practice that. Keep finding that length through your neck. Don't collapse and try not to look at the screen, but rather follow from my cues. Go for a last set here of 3, for 2. The next one that you lift into, hold it and flex your foot. Lower halfway down and lift, making sure that you're lowering down in parallel, not over top of that right calf anymore. Lower down halfway, anticipate the floor, squeeze and flex. Lower and lift for a last set here of 4. Exhale for 3. Last set of 2. Keep using your ground. Open that left hip flexor, squeeze and contract your glute and abs. Slowly lower down, take your weight all the way out, place it to the floor. We are going to come on up to standing. Setting up for the second side with the block. I'm gonna bring it to this side of the mat so you can easily see me. Grab your weights. Setting up with your right foot standing on the block. Left leg is long behind you again, finding that soft little arabesque. Take your weights, pull them into your shoulders. Roll your shoulders down and back, knuckles facing out. You're in that external rotation to set you up so that you have the support of your shoulders, support of your back now. Use the ground, send your tailbone behind you, ribs right away knitted in, float that left leg up and off the floor. You're keeping your right knee in a soft bend. And from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change up the arm movements just a bit. You're gonna take your arms, and from here, you're gonna take a stretch, reaching your pinky fingers all the way towards the sides of your hips and thighs. And then bicep curl back into your shoulders, keeping your collarbones wide. So it's an external rotation, bicep curl, hammer curl, because the heads of the weights are coming into the shoulders. It's like you're trying to brush the backs of your arms against an object behind you. Deep breath in, exhale, abs in tight. Keep stretching that left leg by engaging your glute. Train your brain to know that the leg is not going to be high because we're working our ribs in relationship to our hips. Hips are back, ribs are forward, abs are working to stay tight. Take your arms all the way in. Go for a last one. Exhale, press. Now from here, curl your arms back in. We're going to do the same movement here. You're going to start with your arms in that forearm position. Take an inhale. On your exhale, lift your arms up and then pull them down, shoulders back. Left leg stretching. Neck is long, look forward. Work your erector spinae muscles. Exhale for 2. Woo. Final one. Hold your arms up, turn your palms in, elbows close slightly in, lower down to hover and lift. Squeeze that left glute as hard as you can. Even though you're feeling this in your right standing glute, the goal is to get the left one activated. Activate it mentally. Last set here of 3. Woo. 2. Finish with one more. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift. Slowly, smoothly, step all the way off. Whew. You're gonna stand, roll your shoulders down, keep your arms long, give yourself a soft, light bend to your knees, abs and ribs knitted in. You're gonna take your arms up for 2, down for 2. So we count 2, down, 2. You don't want to lift higher than your shoulders where your neck suffers or where your back starts to change. So think of lifting no higher than where your pec line is. Up, 2, press down. Neck extends longer as you press your arms down. You're trying to create and simulate that feeling of resistance, like you're pressing your arms down through water or hoisting yourself up out of a swimming pool. Let's go for a last set of 3. Slow and steady wins the race. Do not go fast. If you're going fast, calm your brain. This is the work. You can do HIIT, you can run, you can do spinning anytime during your week. I want you to focus on finding your form and really connecting to how you're moving. The quality of your movement is everything. Take your arms down. I'm gonna give you right away profile, making sure that your knees are staying in a soft bend, palms are next to your hips. Lift up for 2. Keep your abs tight, lower like you're pressing down. And the reason why I say like you're pressing down is because I'll see people drop the weights and lift like that. No bueno, guys. Shoulders are back. You're pushing down, 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 down. If anything, you almost want to make the lift the easier part so that your shoulders and traps don't start to get hyper engaged. Deep breath in. Let's go down a little slower. 4, 3, 2, press down like you're pushing against. 2, maybe think of someone's hands right underneath your forearms and they're trying to hold your arms up and you're pushing down against them. The more you activate that feeling in your body, the more you'll work. You might even have to grip your weights a bit harder. Deep breath in, go for a last one. And exhale, press down, 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 down. Take a soft bend in your knees, elbows plant all the way in towards your ribs, and we send out that energy, tricep extension, neck is lengthened. Deep breath in, exhale, press. Abs in tight, ribs knitted together. Go for a last set of 5, last set of 4, final set of 3. Deep breath in, exhale for 2. Last one, take your arms, bring them all the way in. You're gonna place your weights down to the floor, make your way down to the mat. And from here, setting up, you're gonna be using your block if you have it. Lying down, take your block directly into your legs. If you don't have a block, you could also hold either, it could be a towel, could be a cushion. It doesn't really have to be anything. You could just squeeze your knees together. I like the block. It gives a little bit of support for hip bone width and distance. But if I didn't have it, truthfully, I'd just squeeze my legs together and find that connection through my inner thighs all the same. One thing's for sure, if you have the block, don't let your feet touch because the block has separated your thighs now into a distance that you want to keep and you want to find. So knees are the focus point and where you're holding the block. You're going to take your hands behind your head, roll your shoulders down and back, open your elbows so that you can find that stretch through your chest. Don't exaggerate it if you're tight. Just find the connection here. Modification, feet are on the floor. You're setting up first to make sure that your spine is fully supported from the abs. Close the ribs in, feel your upper back connect to the ground. Pull your belly in, don't tuck your butt. Don't do this. You don't want to tuck, you want to use your idea of imprinting from your abs. So the abs suction cup in. Now squeeze your inner thighs together with or without the block. Take a full breath in. And on your exhale, as you start to nod on up, I want you to close your elbows in so that they're parallel to your thighs, not all the way into helmet shape, and then lift up just a tiny bit higher, shoulders peeling up and off the floor. Inhale, open, 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 arms sending that energy down to the ground. You're controlling the lower as much as you are the lift because I want you to feel where you're stretching the spine out through abdominal contraction. A lot of times, and I get a lot of questions, I hear you say stretch all the time, Lydia, but what does that mean? Because I want to contract. No? Yeah, but who said a stretch wasn't a contraction? Think of keeping your leg up in that arabesque that we just did. That was a total contraction stretch exercise. So same thing here. We're just working the opposition more. I want you to work that lower more than the lift. Exhale, head is heavy in the hands. Use your arms to support you here. Keep squeezing into that block, or if your inner thighs are the point in which you're glued together, make sure your inner thighs are zipped up. Go for a last one. Deep breath in and exhale, holding the position, keeping your head lifted, but making sure that your chin is not crunched. Do not let that happen. From here, flex your feet, keep the connection of your inner thighs, and move your legs forward as you breathe out. Just a challenge where you are today in your abs. Exhale and inhale. You could always modify and come down. And again, touch your body. If you need to have different places of support to get into this movement, it could be here, it could be hands underneath the tailbone. You want your shoulders plugged down. You want your back staying supported from your abs, so you're playing. Every day is different, guys. Deep breath in. Keep squeezing into the midline for 2. Go for your last one, deep breath in. Exhale, press. Take one more inhale, hold the position, and from here, slowly, smoothly, feet in. Take your block all the way out. Place your feet to the floor. If you do have a yoga block today, lift on up. Place your block comfortably in any position that feels best for you, underneath your sacrum, underneath your tailbone, and then smoothly opening up into a butterfly. If this doesn't feel right for you, just do whatever feels right. Focus on allowing for your body to give way to gravity. Take a full breath in and exhale. Just let any bit of energy that you don't need, if it's anxious, if it's tense, let it float away with your exhale. As you breathe into your nose, I want you to allow for new oxygen to be new energy circulating through your body. Breathe in what you need and exhale that which you don't. Without rushing, slowly, smoothly, bring your legs all the way back into center so that you can support yourself. Make sure that your feet are full, 10 toes and heels into the floor. Stabilize your arms, bring them down next to your hips. Take a full inhale to stay. And on your exhale, lift your hips up off your block. If you had your block, slide it away. Come down, stretching your legs all the way out in front of you. Take your arms, reach them up. We're going to do a Pilates roll up to finish. Inhale. Ribs knit, arms past the shoulder alignment. Don't lift your head until the hands have passed. Nod on up. And lift, lift, lift. Sit tall, like somebody pushes your chest back, pushes your stomach wall in. Round your back. Feel your arms reach, but don't go forward from your sit bones. Press on back. Breathe in. Reach your arms around your spine and exhale. Lift on up. Slowly, smoothly, eyes gazing to the ceiling. Stretch your arms all the way down. Feel where your neck extends. And align up vertically. Guys, I want to encourage you to stay, stretch longer if you need. Definitely hydrate up. First off, thank you so much for joining me for this class. Second of all, thank you so much for putting in the energy, the focus, and the commitment to you and making your body and how you feel a priority. I know it can be tough working slow. I know it can be annoying working slow and controlled. And I know it can be challenging to work slow, controlled, and focused. But this is part of the reason why I think you are here and you enjoy working out with me. It's so that I can get you to deeper places of understanding your body and truly challenging yourself from within. If you have any comments or any questions, leave them for me in the comment section below. I love to get to know you. I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. If you haven't clicked subscribe yet and you are looking for Pilates classes with choice that you can curate to your personalized practice, then click subscribe and join me weekly for classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you have an awesome morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Guys, I'll see you at the next burn.